There is an emotional impact to divorce that many people do not consider. Aside from the fact that you're losing your spouse, maybe you really loved them, maybe you really cared about them, maybe you enjoyed spending time together, maybe you just relied on them. Whatever your unique situation may be, there are a lot of emotions tied up in a divorce. And the same applies when there are minor children. You see your kids every single day. Maybe you're stressed out or get home late from work, and maybe that is not quality time, but you have dinner together or you provide them with dinner. You help them get ready for bed. You read them a book. Maybe you watch a little TV together. Maybe you play a game together or help them with their homework before bed. These are emotional connections. This is a sort of friendship. While many parents say you cannot be friends with your children, that does not mean necessarily that you do not think of them as your friend, even if you are more their parent than their friend. As a result, when your time sharing is cut in half or worse, that can be devastating to you emotionally. I think more attention needs to be paid to the emotional impact on parents getting a divorce or parents in a paternity case. I think that maybe men need to appreciate when women have taken care of a child for so long, all of the time, and done everything for them, helped keep them alive, raised them from literally nothing into something, and provided for all needs and necessities emotionally, school wise, clothing, food, nurturing, structure, discipline. When men seek time sharing, maybe 50-50 ab initio from the very first day of your time sharing, maybe that is not the best way forward, even if that is a likely, reasonable, and maybe the best outcome. And I think women need to appreciate similarly that not everybody they go against in litigation wanted to never see their child. Maybe some of these people are desperate to be dads. Maybe some of these people have made real life changes and would be wonderful fathers. Just because a relationship failed does not mean that the other parent is wicked or evil or would be a bad parent. They might be the greatest dad or the greatest mom ever, but they need a chance to be that first. Suspicions, aspersions, and hatred and enmity is counterproductive. Unless that person is a real danger to your child, consider just how strong that emotional bond is, even knowing that you have a child. Even if you're not allowed to see them, which is really a sickening thing and really something destructive to the soul. Even if you're not allowed to see your child, does not mean that you do not love them so dearly that it's an overwhelming and powerful emotion. I ask you, and I urge you, parents on both sides of the aisle, when considering time sharing, maybe think a little less about whether or not you have to pay $50 a month in child support to your ex and how horrible that is. Maybe consider the emotional impact on both parties. And if you love your child or children, think about how powerful that love is in your parenting. And when your parenting is cut in half, it's absolutely horrible. There's something there that needs to be thought about when getting along with the other side. If you miss your child and you can co parent, that means you get to talk to your child regularly. That means you might have extra time. That means you might be the babysitter, the extra childcare provider. Co-parenting isn't just about you and your bitch ex or asshole ex, depending on which gender you are and how you describe them. Co-parenting is a way to see your kids more. Co-parenting is a way to have access to your children for communications. It's a way to be kept involved in their daily lives so that you are part of their daily life. I believe that parents in a divorce or paternity situation would do better to understand that this is not some he said, she said. They're so alienating, they're so terrible, they're so horrible. Those situations do exist. There are so many unreasonable people who cannot see past their own nonsense. So many of them. And this drives litigation endlessly, which can be maddening. But nonetheless, if you are a decent person and a nice person and a caring person and a loving person, try to understand that the other parent might be that way too. Relationships fail all of the time. Marriages fail all of the time. That does not mean that should foreclose the other parent from seeing their child entirely, and fighting over little things does not benefit you. Sure as hell does not benefit your child. And it alienates the other parent to the point where it impacts your child. Think very carefully about how you resolve your case.